Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. 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 Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Stosya Samaj Vaingir Sabhaya Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 5, Narada's Instructions, Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are going to read text 12. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam, text 12. Iskarmyamapi achyuta bhava varjitam naso bhate jnanamalam niranjanam kutaha punaha sasvat abhadram ishvare nacharpita karma yadapi akaranam naiskarmyamapi achyuta bhava varjitam न शोभत ज्ञानमलं निरञ्जनम् कुतः पुनः शाश्वतभद्रम् ईश्वरे न चार्पितकर्म यदपि अकारणम् नैष्कर्म्यम् self-realization, being freed from the reactions of fruitive work. Api, in spite of. Achyuta, the infallible Lord. Bhava, conception. Varjitam, devoid of. Na, does not. Sovate, look well. Jnanani, sorry, Jnanam, transcendental knowledge. Alam, by and by. Niranjanam, free from designations. Abad kutaha, where is. Punaha, again. Saswat, always. Abhadram, uncongenial. Ishvare, unto the Lord. Na, not. Cha, and. Arpitam, offered. Karma, fruitive work. Yadapi, what is. Akaranam, not fruitive. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of the infallible. What then is the use of fruitive activities which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? Please repeat. Knowledge of self-realization. Even though free from all material affinity. Does not look well. If devoid of a conception of the infallible. God. What then is the use of fruitive activities which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord. Purport as referred to above, not only ordinary literatures devoid of transcendental glorification of the Lord are condemned, but also Vedic literature and speculation on the subject of impersonal Brahman when they are devoid of devotional service. When speculation on the impersonal Brahman is condemned on the above ground, then what to speak of ordinary fruitive work, which is not meant to fulfill the aim of devotional service. Such speculative knowledges and fruitive work cannot lead one to goal of perfection. Fruitive work in which almost all people in general are engaged is always painful either in the beginning or at the end. It can be fruitful only when made subservient to the devotional service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is confirmed the result of such fruitive work may be offered for the service of the Lord. Otherwise it leads to material bondage. The bona fide enjoyer of fruitive work is the personality Godhead, and thus when it is engaged for the sense gratification of living beings, it becomes an acute source of trouble. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Pracharane Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschati Desatarane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dear devotees, welcome to our regular program on Bhagavatam, morning Bhagavatam. Thank you very much for joining. As you are saying, Narad is saying, general in this world, people जमुना को दे दो किसी को दे दो. You don't talk. Go. Generally, in this world, people, when Narad is saying this thing to Vyasadeva, contemporary, that time in the contemporary world, people are, those who are serious, inquisitive of the truth, they are mostly impersonalists. In fact, India is full of impersonalists. Now also, they are full of impersonalists. The danger is that those days, even the impersonalists were honest, impersonalists were sincere in understanding Krishna consciousness in the absolute truth. And Narad is saying that such people who have separated themselves from the matter, they are condemned because they don't have the concept of Krishna. They don't understand the concept of Krishna. Achyuta bhava varjita. Achyuta bhava varjita. What is this achyuta bhava varjita? Achyuta means Krishna. One of the favorite way Krishna was addressed by gopis as Achyuta. Because Krishna is infallible. He never fails to address the need of devotees. That is why we all worship Krishna. Now, people, they perform severe austerities. They take into account of temporariness of this material world, and they dissociate themselves from this temporary world very meticulously. But as said in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 2nd chapter, Yanye Aravindakya Vimuktamanina Toi Astabhavat Avisuddha Buddhayo Aruhya Kutsrena Parampadam Tato Patanti Adho Anadruta Jismatandraye. So it's fine. One is impersonalist, but their buddhi is Avisuddha Buddhayo. They have polluted intelligence. Why they have polluted intelligence? Aruhe kutsrena parampadam tato. By performing severe austerities, they themselves think that they have become Bhagavan. Patanti yadho. They all fall down. Why? Anadrita jismatagre. They have no attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna. So there are many. They are able to dissociate themselves from the matter. Jnana yogis and dhyana yogis, they do that, but they have achyuta bhava varjita. Achyuta bhava means no concept of Krishna or God. So when they have, they're condemned. Naradji is saying condemned. And then he's saying, what about the fruitive workers? Because if I say the transcendentalists, if they are 0.1%, then fruitive workers are 99.9%. So when we have such, and he says fruitive action from the very beginning is troublesome and also troublesome. Beginning and middle, always fruitive work is painful and troublesome. Many people, they cannot understand this. We always make plan based on our fruitive mentality. And hence we are suffering. And we would suffer as long as we have fruitive mentality within us. That is why, devotees, we must recognize that pure devotional service as given to us by Srila Prabhupada is so wonderful, so nice. Can you bring my phone? So, I'm not going to go to the next verse. I will stop here, but I will narrate a nice incident in this context, because Achyuta Bhava Varjitam. And Achyuta Bhava comes by the blessings of Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram is Swayam Prakasa expansion of Krishna. So naturally, I will narrate, because yesterday I read it. I thought today I will speak about this. Yeah, it's here. So, this Manvantara is Vyasadeva Manvantara. And Vyasadeva Manu has many sons. One of the sons is Saryati. Okay. And he ruled the kingdom for a long time. Saryati. Saryati has a daughter named Sukanya. Once they visited the ashram of Chyavana Muni. And Chyavana Muni was very famous for his austerity, for his mystic potency, and everybody respected him. And king, along with his entourage and his daughter Sukanya, once visited the ashram of Chyavana Muni. Now, I'll read a little bit there before again I make the discussion shortcut. So this is where, while that Sukanya is the daughter of Saryati. Saryati is the son of Vyasadeva Manu. So, and this is happening in the first Divya Kalpa. We are in 28th Divya Kalpa. Try to understand. We are in 28th Divya Kalpa. And this is happening in the first Divya Kalpa. Right? And you will see how suddenly from one Divya Kalpa to 28th Divya Kalpa, one can descend. It's amazing. Yesterday, I was meditating on this, and it's so fascinating, so fascinating. So Sukanya, young girl, and obviously Chanchalamati. When you are young, your mind works very fast. Surrounded by her friends, was collecting various types of fruits from the trees in the forest. That is the ashram of Chyavana Muni. She saw within the hole of an earthworm two things glowing like luminaries. As if induced by the providence, the girl ignorantly pierced those two glowworms with a thorn, when they were pierced, blood began to ooze out of them. So to make the whole thing short, Chavana, after seeing the beautiful Sukanya, although great says, got attracted to Sukanya. And knowingly, he entered into this earthworm. Just imagine. And as soon as the eye of the Chavanamuni was pierced, blood oozed out, and then the entire entourage of Saryati, the soldiers, they could not pass urine or stool. And Saryati immediately realized some mistake has been done. Out of fear, his daughter Sukanya said, I have pierced the eyes of a glowworm. So like that she said. And then everybody realized that some mistake has been done, and Saryati wanted to appease Chavanamuni. King Saryati, being very contemplative and thus understanding Chavanamuni's purpose, gave his daughter in charity to the sage. Thus released from danger with great difficulty, he took permission from Chavanamuni and returned home. So the king was not an ordinary king, and he realized what has happened. And he could realize that Chavana wanted to marry his daughter, and he has created this thing. And, these people were really frightened from the curse of Chavanamuni. And king agreed to give his daughter in marriage to Chavana. And he said, okay, let us finish this episode and move on in our life. And Chavanamuni married Sukanya. King left for his kingdom. And this Sukanya is the granddaughter of Manu, Vyasadeva. Now, there is little history there. History is Chavana wanted to look beautiful because he had wrinkled skin, looks old, and so so he appeased Ashwini Kumaras, because Ashwini Kumaras are the demigod of medicine. And normally, the Vaidyas, they can give you good health. They can make you, it is sometime, nowadays the doctors, they want us to look very young, and you must know nowadays the biggest industry is anti-aging products. People are fooled saying this would make you always look young, whether it is fair and lovely or whatever. There are so many anti-aging products are floating in the market. So obviously, he prayed to Ashwini Kumara. Ashwini Kumara came, and then Ashwini Kumaras, they said, Chavanamuni said that you see that you are the only demigod who is not allowed to partake in Somarasa. I will give you a full matka or pot of Somarasa if you agree to my proposal. Now, what is your proposal? Now, make me very young. Okay. So immediately Ashwini Kumara, he was very old. Two Ashwini Kumaras, the two sides, carried Chavanamani into a lake, and they all came looking very, 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 very young, energetic, with proper dress, proper garment, and everything they came. And they three looked so equal. And Sukanya was completely confused. Who is his husband among these three? And then Sukanya took shelter of Ashwini Kumara. Oh, Ashwini Kumaras, I pray to your lotus feet. Please reveal who is my husband among three of you. So Ashwini Kumara realized the Arey, I don't know why this is coming just jaldi jaldi karke. So Ashwini Kumara revealed, this is your husband. And Shavana and Sukanya lived very happily, and then he performed a yajna. He got a Somarasa pot and gave that Somarasa pot to Ashwini Kumara as promised. And then, they had son, and one of them was Revata. Revata's had 100 sons. The eldest was Kukutmi. Kukutmi has a daughter called Revati. And Kukutmi felt his daughter has all the qualification, and he wanted to know who would become the suitable match. So Kukutmi went to Brahma's planet. अब देखो, ये जो राजा हुआ करते थे पहले जमाने में, ordinary राजा नहीं. So we say how matter degrades. So in the beginning of this Manvantara, you can imagine the capacity of these personalities. Very, very powerful personalities. Just like we see in one Dibya Kalpa, it starts with fresh goodness from Satya Yuga, and it goes to almost ignorance in the end of Kali Yuga until Kalki comes and devours everyone. Similarly, you can also think about Manvantara. Beginning of Manvantara is very powerful. End of Manvantara must be, less in terms of potential. So this is happening at the beginning of the Manvantara. And when he went to Brahma's planet, how did he go? I don't know. But he went. Kukudmi went to Brahma's planet. And Brahma that time was attending a concert. And by the time Brahmaji came, he told my daughter, because his daughter was, he carried his daughter with him. And said, I want a suitable husband for my daughter. Please recommend one. So immediately Brahmaji realized, Kukudmi, since you came here, 27 Dibya Kalpas have passed. 27 Dibya Kalpas. Just think about it. Almost 100 million years. 100 million years. You just have to count 27 into 4.3. So at least 100 million years. More than 100 million years. At first. So Brahmaji said, whomever you may be thinking about, they are no more there. So Kukudmi was surprised, and then Brahmaji said, don't worry. Now, if you go back, you will find Lord Balaram is there. He is the rightful uh, husband for your daughter. So actually Revati is a concept of Lord Balaram. But look at the pastime. Kukudmi goes with his daughter and they go to a different plane where it appeared they spend very little time. But that time in earthly planet is 28 Dibya Kalpas. Isn't it amazing? So if you start hearing this and start contemplating, you will never be attached to this material world. This is so extraordinary, so extraordinary. Just hearing this, one should be purified enough, highly purified. And you know what happened later. Kukudmi came back with his daughter. And when he came back, because he was born in a different Manvantara in Satya Yuga, and he was very tall. And his daughter was also very tall. And when he came to his place, he found there was nobody, nothing. And then he went, as Brahmaji has suggested, to meet, he met Lord Balaram and said, "This is my daughter." Brahmaji said, "This is suitable match for you." And Balaram, seeing his own consort, became very happy and using his, plow, she pulled down Revati, because Revati was looking very tall and Balaram was short, because it's in Dwapara Yuga. So, and this is the whole story. But just think about this story. This is such a beautiful story. And I was thinking, is that, you were born in the beginning of Vyasadeva Manvantara, and you are not aware what has happened in 27 Manvantaras, gone. And 28th Manvantara, you are coming back to the earth planet and you are giving your daughter in marriage to Balaram. I don't know how many of you are able to really appreciate this beautiful thing. This is such an amazing pastime. I had heard about Kukudmi's pastimes many times. I've talked about it. But what struck me yesterday evening before I went to do bed is Kukudmi. What a personality he must be. How powerful. First of all, he was a father to consort, eternal consort of Lord Balaram. Right? Obviously, he would have natural mystic potency to go to Brahma's planet. So what I was thinking from the perspective of spiritual plane, this so-called past, present, future is nonsense actually. What finally matters is that how you are pleasing Krishna. So, Balaram's consort appeared in the beginning of Vyasadeva Manvantara. And it appears she waited for 27 Manvantara, and on 28th Manvantara, he married Balaram. It looks like, big weight. It's not a big weight. Because they went to Brahma's planet and just waited for some time until Brahma's concert. Brahma was enjoying a concert and that concert was over. But that period itself is 27 Manvantaras, gone. And she comes back. It's just like, suppose you are in spiritual plane, you may traverse trillions of years from our perspective, earthly time perspective, in no time, transcendental time. So for Krishna, sometime We practice Krishna consciousness 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and we think, wow, how long I'm engaged and nothing is happening. Just meditate on this topic. I would like you people, if you appreciated this particular topic, if you have some questions, ask about this. Also, what we talked about in this verse, and I will take 2 minutes break as usual. Live together. That is one Divya Kalpa. One day of Brahma is 1,000 Divya Kalpa. One day of Brahma is 14 Manvantara. One Manvantara is 71 Divya Kalpa. This Manvantara is Vaivasvata Manvantara. This is 7th Manvantara. So you can say this is the 12 noon in Brahma's time, in this day of Brahma. No, this is not noon, because 71 Manvantara, a day of Brahma. I'm making a mistake. This is noon time, because this is 7th Manvantara. 14 Manvantara is a day of Brahma, 12 hour. So this is noon actually. I was making some mistake. So your question was how many Divya Kalpas are there in a Manvantara? So 71 Divya Kalpas are there. So I think I have answered your question. Chiranjit Roy, as you told that strength and height of people decreases as Manvantara passes, does people in Kali Yuga of one Manvantara is stronger and more powerful than the people in Satyuga of next Manvantara? Yeah, Satyuga, the people will be stronger, taller, and they will have the age 1 lakh year. So Satya Yuga is very powerful. So Kali Yuga is the least, because in Kali Yuga everything is polluted. Nikita, sometimes we make many mistakes in past, and after realizing that, we lament over those matters and definitely affect our sadhana. So how we can get rid of our lamentation and past memories? uh, Immerse yourself in chanting Krishna's name. Always have faith that if you are surrendering to Krishna, Krishna is burning all your, Krishna will burn all your um, uh, sinful reactions. And the memory that is, memory is uh, that would hunt is hunting you. Pray to Krishna. Oh Krishna, they are they are giving troubling me. Please help me to be focused in chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pray like that. And it is not easy, but with positive spirit, by hearing continuously and chanting nicely, associating with the devotees, you can get rid of it. Okay. Akshay Kumar Naik, sir, here we see the father of Revati is so potent and great devotee, but we also see the father and brother of Mother Rukmini are so endemically. How to understand this difference? No, no, father of Rukmini was good. Bhishmaka was a devotee of Krishna. That is, these things are there to enhance the Leela of Krishna. I have already told you in some pastime when Satrajit accused Krishna that he has murdered his brother. Eh? Samantaka jewel, he accused Krishna has stolen. Krishna has murdered his brother because of Samantaka jewel. And that particular pastime resulted in Krishna getting 2 consorts married. One is Jambavati, the other is Satrajita himself gave his daughter Satyabhama in marriage to Krishna. So you cannot say Satrajit is committing a sin or crime, because they are all arranged by the divine or the providence. So similarly, we cannot comment. We cannot comment on these pastimes, because if I say Satrajit is in the modes of material nature, how a modes of material nature can cause Satyabhama and Jambavati getting married to Krishna? It is not possible. It's simply not possible. So Krishna's marriage with Satyabhama and Jambavati must be causeless. It must be beyond space and time. Similarly, Rukmini's marriage with Krishna is also causeless. So the so-called pastime of Rukmi is the arrangement of the providence, for sure. Does memory stores in brain or in subtle body? Memory is there everywhere. Memories are there in your every cell. Memory is there in your mind. Memory is there in your intelligence. Memory is there in the false ego. Memory is all pervading. Gross memory in gross cell, subtle memory in subtle cell, and very subtle memory in very subtle cell. And then there are spiritual memory in Atma. This is all memory. You can think like that. Okay, I was surprised there are not many questions today. I thought that I told you a very wonderful story of Kukudmi, Chavana and Sukanya, and how Chavana desired, you see. to marry Sukanya and what he did actually, and how king could realize that Shyavana wanted to marry his daughter, and just to save himself, he gave his daughter in marriage. In fact, I had forgotten to tell you, once king went to see his daughter and saw his daughter is with a very young person. And king started chastising the daughter. How could you do this? You are from our dynasty. How could you give up your husband and now you are with, with a very young man? You are like a prostitute. And, he shouted like anything. And then Sukanya happily said, "My dear Papa, this is the same Shyavana that you gave me in marriage. But by his mystic potency, by the mercy of Ashwini Kumaras, now he is like this." So you see, and that is why, we should not be attracted to this material world. Now we have been hearing how Bharat Maharaj, even after so powerful, having beautiful wife, beautiful children, gave up his kingdom to practice Krishna consciousness completely. Similarly, Ambarisha Maharaja, although full of opulence, full of, good quality children as well as wives, still he gave up everything and practiced Krishna consciousness in full dedication, completely, 100%. We see this. So these narrations are there to empower us, to inspire us. Let's go full in Krishna consciousness. But now one day we must be inspired like that. Chiranjit is saying, what is the difference, subtle memory and gross memory? Gross memory, normally you forget. Somebody has slapped you, easily forget. Somebody has insulted you, you don't forget it easily because insult hits your subtle memory, whereas a slap hits your gross memory. From YouTube, there is a question. Amrit Panda, when you say beyond space and time, what does it mean? Beyond space and time means both gross and subtle memory that you have, gross and subtle experience that you have beyond this material world. So that is that which is transcendental or divine. Beyond space and time means divine, eternal, Saswat, Satchit Ananda. So many ways you can understand. Okay. Okay, so I think that we should stop here. Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagwan ki, Srila Giriraj Krishna ki, Sri Sri Radha Raman Ji ki, Sri Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Gaur Pramanande Hare Hare.